So you just decided that it's time for you to level up your career. And one of the ways that you're thinking about doing this is by going to graduate school. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down all you need to consider before choosing a program. So let's get right into it. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laiza, and in this channel we talk all about how to maximize your potential so that you can live a purpose-driven life. For more context, I went to New York University for my graduate degree and studied a master's in public administration. And during my time there, I had the opportunity to ask different bright minds like me how they got into the program, and also even beyond NYU, just to really put that experience side by side with my own experience. After all of that, I was able to break the process into 4 key segments: the why, the what, the where, and the how. So let's just get right into these different parts. So the first segment is the why. It's very important that you know your why. And as cliche as this may sound, knowing your why just really helps to bring everything into perspective. It helps you to clarify your vision, identify the weeds, the good, the ugly, and drives you further towards your goal, right? So asking questions like, why am I even thinking about a graduate program? Why now? And what do I stand to gain? Just helps you to give shape or give voice to this dream that you have in your heart. If you plan to go for an MBA, for example, why do you actually want to do it? I was able to ask some of my friends why they're doing their programs, and I'm actually going to be using that as, using real life examples in this video. So one friend told me, let's call him Person X. So Person X said, I'm looking to advance my career and pivot from the nonprofit sector to management consulting. So it just really makes sense why he wants to study an MBA. Don't skip this step because it helps set the pace for the kind of school, program, and experience that you have during and after your program. Knowing your why and your key career areas will help you to decide on the kind of program to go for, whether it's STEM or non-STEM. This takes me to my next point: STEM versus non-STEM programs. If you're an international student, for example, and you plan to work in the US and also live in the US, it's very important that you know the CPT, OPT, and STEM OPT. CPT, which is curricular practical training, allows a student to work while studying as a requirement for a course in their master's program. Pro tip: find a program that has CPT in the curriculum to help you gain US work experience before graduation. OPT means optional practical training and is a type of work permit that all students on F1 visa get. All master's programs give you OPT, which is a 12-month work permit. And then programs that are designated as STEM, that is Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, by the Department of Homeland Security. They give you an extra 24 months of work permit. If you're an international student, I advise you that you should do some more digging into STEM programs that are related to the career path that you want to take, because having the STEM OPT just really gives you more time to gain more international work experience before you either go back to your country, or even buys you more time if you want to live in the US. So the second part is the what, and I broke this down into 3 main parts: long-term thinking, STEM versus non-STEM programs, and also the length of the program. So for long-term thinking, you need to start thinking about what you plan to do post-graduation, okay? What career path do you want to venture into? Is it management consultant, for instance, just like our first example? Or if you're not really sure, it's also fair, or it really makes sense for you to have at least your top 3 choices. of areas you plan to pitch your tent in, so that you can then start positioning yourself to choose the right program and the right school that will help you achieve this goal. For example, leaning on our first example, right? For switching from the nonprofit sector to management consulting, your what when it comes to your post-grad goal could be something like this. My long-term career goal is to become an accomplished consulting leader and advise the largest tech firms on their most pressing problems. It could be as straightforward as this, okay? So you don't necessarily have to have everything all figured out, know the specific company, although it really helps if you have, ideas of companies that you want to work in, so that you can really start networking, understand when the deadlines for their internships are. All of those things help to enrich the kind of experience that you have in your program. Another very important component when it comes to long-term thinking is to really start understanding what the lifetime value of that program is. So for example, what is the lifetime value of an MBA? This is where research really comes in, and it helps you to gain more knowledge about the kind of salaries people that do that particular program earn, the kind of industries that they get going to, the kind of skills that they gain while in that program, and so on and so forth. So this really helps you to position yourself right and to start planning accordingly. So the next point is the length of program. If you're committed to a fully immersive experience and you have the opportunity to move and live in a university campus area, then a full-time program is definitely right for you. And of course, a 2-year program. However, if you're growing rapidly in your career and you still want to remain on your job, but you also want to get a master's degree, then a part-time program and a 1-year program will most likely be right for you. So this next part is all about the how, and this is where you really start digging into what the key requirements are to get into this program. So there are several programs that require you to write an essay, take the GMAT or GRE, have recommendation letters. If you're going for a PhD, of course, you should be thinking about some form of research from your past work. So really understanding what the key requirements would help you access your candidacy, understand where you are right now, and if you're really prepared to get all these things together, or how long it's going to take you to prepare. Another very key thing that a lot of people tend to either get scared about or they tend to overlook is the financial investment. You guys, a master's degree is not cheap, especially if you're looking to go into a reputable program, right? So you need to be able to count the cost and put your house in order, right? There are some people that are like, hey, I don't have money to go to school, so how do I really position myself to get full funding? Keeping in mind that there are also thousands of people, hundreds of people that are also vying for scholarships. So how do you really distinguish yourself, right? But there are also other options like loans and, personal funding, all of that good stuff. You need to think about that. In another video, I'll definitely talk about all these things, like try and break them down so that you can get clarity on what opportunities are out there. And this next part is the where. So we're talking all about location here. I know it's very easy for people to just pack their bags and go and say, hey, I'm moving to this country, I'm going to this school to study. Have you really considered what kind of experience you really want to have? There are some people that are like, hey, I do not want to stay in the suburbs for anything in this life. They prefer the city life, New York, Boston, San Francisco, all of that vibe, LA. And I think it's very important that you think about the kind of program you want to go to and the kind of experience, and ensure that the school actually is able to deliver these two things. For example, if you're looking to do an MBA in luxury fashion, which I know NYU Stern actually offers this, You shouldn't go to a place like Idaho to go and study MBA in luxury fashion and run away from a place like New York. How is that even going to work? New York is one of the fashion capitals of the world. So you need to be in that place so that you'll be able to make those industry connections and basically get access to the resources and the tools and the people that you need to thrive and win in that industry. So far, I've covered the why, the what, the how, and the where. In more videos to come, I definitely plan to cover more on the academic side and also the transition from a graduate program to the corporate world and also into entrepreneurship. I also plan to get some of my friends and other experts to speak to us on this channel regarding their experiences, give us some tips and strategies. So if you're looking for that kind of content, definitely subscribe, you guys, because there's a lot of value coming your way. So please share this video with anyone that you know needs this kind of content. And also don't forget to please comment. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. If you're looking to go for a graduate program, you can share your thoughts or what level you are right now. If you've already done a program, you can also share more tips that could help other people. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.